Hello and welcome to another video blog for Projects for Christ. I'm Gabriel Davis. This is episode number 13. I want to thank you so much for clicking on my video here and giving me a chance to watch my video here. Also, real quick, if you have not got a chance to watch my previous videos, I encourage you to please do so. Just follow the link to the YouTube. Click up there where it says Projects for Christ. Should take you to my YouTube channel. You'll have a list of all of my videos. I do encourage you to go and check them out. You can also leave comments on my channel and on the videos also. So thank you once again from all my heart, all of you who supported me from around the world, who has networked with me in the last few weeks. Thank you so much, and I love y'all. What I want to do today is my video is entitled A Mother's Love. And I want to kind of share a story with you and a little testimony. It's regarding an 8-year-old boy who's 8 years old who has went through quite a bit of tragedy here in his life, especially when he was newborn. And I want to share that with you. So many times, we get entangled with so much in our lives, and I'm the first to do that, raise my hand. And we kind of forget about, the things that are really important out there, that there are people out there who really are going through a lot. And I'm not trying to take anything away. I know we all go through stuff, and it's always, somebody's got it worse is the saying, but there are, people out there, especially children, who really need our support and really need our prayers, and this is one of them. This is from a friend of mine by the name of Casey and her little boy Kalen. I've known her for a little while now, and she lives locally here in South Alabama. And I actually didn't know about this story about her son, and she sent me an email about this, regarding a testimony, because she's a supporter of my videos. I want to read this to you real quick, this email that I got from her. Again, this is about her son Kalen, who is 8 years old now. When he was born, he was born 8 weeks premature. He was a 2-month-old preemie baby, and that's pretty premature there. When he was 1 day old, the doctor had diagnosed this little newborn Kalen with a brain aneurysm, spinal meningitis, and hydrocephalus, which is an aneurysm burst when he was 3 days old. Hydrocephalus, which I don't know if I pronounced that right, but this aneurysm that burst when he was 3 days old triggered his epilepsy. Now, by the time that he was 1 week old, the doctors had to put little baby Kalen into a medical coma in order to stop and control the bleeding on his brain from the aneurysm bursting and seizures he was having upwards of 6 to 7 times a day. Now, not only was he born 2 months premature, but he also had all this stuff: spinal meningitis, hydrocephalus, aneurysm. They had to put this little newborn baby Kalen in a medical coma for 3 weeks. And if there's any mothers out there watching, you can just imagine having to go through something like that. He stayed in and out of the medical comas, till he was 3 weeks old. Now, when he was 3 weeks old, this is when Casey, her mother, finally got a chance to hold baby Kalen. The doctors let him hold baby Kalen. And why they did that when he was 3 weeks old is because by that point, the doctors had given up. There was just nothing more they could do for little baby Kalen. It was all in God's hands. All the medicines, all the stuff, they just weren't working. So what Casey did, and this is what I admired so much, and instead of blaming God, which I've seen that before, because I'm a father, but I haven't been through nothing like that, and I can't even imagine having to go through that with your newborn baby, especially you as a mother. And we all know that a mother and a child, they have a bond that I'll never understand. And so not only was they having to do that, and she was having to go through that, but what I really admire about Casey so much is she didn't blame God. She had a talk with God. And what she did was she, had her moment with God, and she gave baby Kalen to God. Instead of blaming God, instead of, being mad with God, she said, you know what, this is your child, God, I'm going to give him to you. Now, what happened is the very next day is God told Casey, hey, I'm not ready to take baby Kalen just yet, and God gave Kalen back to her. And, I thought that was just so awesome there. Now, keep in mind, continuing on the story here, he did not even go home till he was 3 months old. And also, the doctor had to put a VP shunt to control the hydrocephalus, which he, still has this day at 8 years old, and also he has epilepsy. Now, also something else I kind of want to back up. Not only was Casey having to deal with that with little baby Kaylin, premature 2 months, having to go through all that stuff in the comas, but also had another horrible thing that happened to her at that time is when little baby Kaylin was in the NICU fighting for his life. His father decided that he didn't want to have anything to do with the sick kid. He just didn't want anything to do with it, and he left him high and dry, just up and left him. That was the words out of his mouth, that he did not want have to deal with a sick son. So you can imagine, not only is she having to deal with this from little baby Kaylin, but the father just up and splits, don't want to have anything to do with this. I mean, that's pretty rough there, But it was like Casey, she stayed with God. She didn't get mad at God. She just stayed in faith with Him. And now let's go forward here 8 years. He's been going through stuff for the last 8 years. But for the last year, it sounds like he's been doing pretty good up until last week. Kaylin, which is 8 years old now, told his mother, hey, I'm not feeling sick, Mom, but something's wrong. And of course, Casey, she kind of felt, she knew something was coming here. She didn't know what it was. But what happened is he had the biggest, she kept him home from school and called in sick, and he had the biggest epileptic seizure that he has had in over a year. Now, he takes seizure medication every day for it, and it does work, but it can't stop all the seizures. Tuesday, when I went to the ER, they did a CT scan. Last week they did a CT scan, and the ER doctor noticed that the hydrocephalus fluid had increased, but the VP shunt was still working and draining, but it was just too much for it to drain at that moment. And also, too, the neurosurgeon at the Children's Hospital had told her that there's a high possibility that his VP shunt is succumbing to wear and tear over the last 8 years and needs to be replaced as soon as possible. When I read that, it was so touching. I mean, just very, very touching. And again, I just can't imagine having to go through that. And I just want to just pray right now in the name of Jesus. I just come to you, Father, and just ask if you just touch this family. I just ask if you just touch and bless Casey. She's been through so much, but she has kept her faith in you. Even though when she's probably wanted to get mad, Lord, she's kept her faith in you. And for Kaylin, what a champion this is, Lord. Lord, this is a child of God. You love him so much, and he has the heart of gold. This is a champion here who has not given up, who has had to fight his entire life. In the name of Jesus, I just ask for your special blessing that you put upon Casey and Kaylin. And Lord, I just ask that you take this situation and you enable them to be able to use something good to glorify you. So Casey can go out there and Kaylin, they can testify and use their story to help parents all over the world and help children all over the world that are dealing with something similar. In the name of Jesus, I just ask for your special blessing over them too. And also too, I want to give a little something here for Kaylin. Buddy, I'm proud of you. Love you. You were in my prayers. You're about to get a whole lot more prayers here after this video. You just keep fighting, buddy. We're so proud of you. And I just want to ask everybody to please keep Casey and Kaylin in your prayers. And if there's anything that you feel in your heart that you want to do for them, whether it be a message or whatever you feel, just get in contact with me. I'll pass it on. But I'm just asking to please keep them in your prayers. And I want to thank you so much for joining me and watching this video. And I love y'all so much. Love you, Casey and Kaylin. This video is dedicated especially for you. Y'all have a great and blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.